Good morning, friends. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing great. I saved my update for a little bit. I was really interested to see what happened until midnight. Now I'm going to go over a little bit with you and tell you exactly why my anticipation for FOMC was completely on side. If you remember from yesterday's update, and go check it out, I was anticipating price to want to come all the way down. It could come all the way down to this fair value gap. Well, son of a gun. I was live for this. It came down. I had this shaded purple and a box drawn throughout my chart, and I was looking for a model, and it took off without me and didn't give me my discount reprice. So I just sat there and let it go. And I guarantee 98% of you cannot do that. And you might think that that's not impressive and, oh, you didn't get to trade it. I forecasted this exact move and didn't trade it. That is power. That is absolute mastery. I didn't feel like it. I could have taken the 15-minute order block. Absolutely. I could have taken the breaker. Absolutely. And just sat in it. But that was actually painful to sit through. I wanted to get that and come up. Even the 5-minute order block here was not repriced to. That's what I really wanted right there. And then I could have gotten that breaker right there. I was even thinking about it. But think about it. If I'm not in the bottom here and I'm already buying the premium, look at how much garbage to sit through all day. That's painful and exhausting. I want to be a part of this. And if I don't get it, then I don't get it. And that's just how it works. Eventually, you'll come to realize that candlesticks moving doesn't equal a trade. And just being able to forecast this and be on side with it and have an expectation in the market laid out and price action come into agreement with that, that feels great. So I'm feeling pretty handsome right now. So I know my forecast here was to come down and then right back up. The thing about it is you'll see this as 2 candles because that's what the daily chart shows. But I'm going to show you something. And the reason why I elect to use midnight as my daily open. And this is primarily why I waited so long for the update. Because it's just nearing midnight now. Because this is the daily close. You see? So this is my candlestick. It's not the one that is created in the daily chart. It looks a little bit different than the one I'm going to show you. So that is my 24-hour cycle. It's not, I guess, 23-hour, but this is whatever. Anyway, this is my daily cycle. So what I was anticipating was for price to want to drop well below the open. And because of the nature of FOMC, I was mentioning it could drop quite drastically and still want to reprice higher. Now, unfortunately for us that are primarily trading funded accounts, the day close was right here. So that's the candle's close here on this candle. Now, if we were able to hold overnight in our funded accounts and run a time stop for midnight, we'd be closing near the high of the day. So that's my daily candlestick. And MG, you're going to have a really fond appreciation for this because you were already doing this in your backtesting, which is beautiful work. You're seeing it. So this is the open of my daily candlestick. If price action falls below the open, the candlestick's red. So as it drops down and makes the lowest point of this daily candlestick, it starts going back above the open, it turns green, And that's the daily candlestick for me. So that's what I was anticipating for today to materialize. And boy, howdy, that was fun. Now, again, this is such a beautiful masterpiece example of being on side and just sitting it out and letting price action wiggle. Because coming up in the next little bit here, we're anticipating some very nice moves, way nicer than this. This was actually meh, but that was pretty sweet. Oops. And did we take that high? No, I don't think so. No, we left it alone. That is funny. Yeah. It's funny because everybody that was chasing that dump, that's where they have their stops, and they're I want to say some things, but they might not be appropriate, but I'll let your mind wander. They're puckered, and they're kind of bugging out right now. So they're going to get stopped out. So if you're long, take partial. There's people selling. There's people buying. And you need to sell to people. And fortunately for you, they got stops right there above the market, open. They're like, hey, guess what? I got my buy stops right here. And you're like, oh, cool. Because you're in a marketplace, right? It's like a flea market. Yeah, crypto's the flea market. Anywho, so what's going to go on for tomorrow? Well, son of a gun, that candle has no tail. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, it does. It's a tiny tail. It counts. So that's cool. That's cool. This is the new candle already. Like, son of a gun, it's just already gone. That's funny. That's awesome. So what do we got? Tomorrow is Thursday. Unemployment claims, right? And we've already got a wide Asian range. So look, you better be careful. If I see something obvious, then I'm going to shout it out. I was going to go live with my premium members tomorrow morning. That still might happen, but this dynamic Asian range doesn't exactly spell some favorable New York price. So we'll see what happens, because midnight will be my daily open. So that'll be great. It looks like we're going to get that close near the high of the day. So what would we be anticipating? Well, definitely not 20 to 30% of that range. There we go. Grade that wick. I know this is going to just seem a little bit confusing at first, but try to imagine that that's practically one daily candlestick, and it's about to close right here. So I'm just going to actually mind the... Just see where it sits in relation to that wick. So the 30%, no, yeah, the 30% pullback of that whole range, no, it's 20%, is the lower quadrant of this wick. So tomorrow, like at midnight in 19 minutes, you got to imagine that this is opening a new candle. Even though it's going to be this candle still. I know it's going to be a little bit tricky to do, but that's kind of how it works. So these are the price points that I'd be looking for. If we get down into here at 8:30, 9:30, maybe even 10, but it's down, dropping down in here, I will entertain a long position and likely be live. So we'll see what happens. If we do take the liquidity pool here, it's gotta, like after midnight, it's got to immediately start trading down, but not too much, and just kind of wiggle for London. We'll see. I would look when the time changes and the price action starts getting fun again, you're gonna have a hard time keeping up with me. God bless you guys. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.